Datamined. The January cards have been datamined and they're super cool. We're going to take a look at them today in this installment of Cards of the Future. What's up, nerds? It looks like the beloved World War Hulk story is coming to Marvel Snap with the release of Skaar and Friends for the January season. And as you can see on screen, Skaar is the first card we're going to take a look at. He's a 6 energy, 11 power card that costs 2 less for each of your cards that have 10 or more power. I really like this card. I think realistically though, he's gonna end up being a 4 energy, 11 power card most of the time, but anything less is super awesome. Lockjaw lists are going to love this card. Any deck that runs Typhoid Mary, Sentry, and Attuma, I'm thinking of a list that does like Zabu 0 with Typhoid, Sentry, Attuma, and then like Skaar and She-Hulk. That seems pretty cool. Maybe even Gladiator and Cosmo. Yeah, anyways, you can tell where I'm going with this. I think Skaar and a combination of like Gladiator coming up here next month is going to enable a new type of zero list that doesn't have to run Sauron or the same old Shuri stuff you see all the time. And with Lockjaw, maybe even like the High Evo Lockjaw lists that we saw a month or two ago, you'll be able to get them big boys out early with Lockjaw and Wasp and yada yada, and then slam a really cheap or free Skaar on the last turn of the game. Sweet card. I'm glad we're getting more stuff like it. I've always thought She-Hulk was super fun, and I just like the playstyle of Sunspot and She-Hulk together. And now Skaar and the rest of the Hulk family can be together in one deck, and I think it's going to work out pretty well. Next up is Hercules. Hercules. He's a 4 energy, 6 power card. Says the first time another card moves here each turn, move it to another location. Yeah, to me, this just seems like a passive move enabler for like Vulture and Dazzler and Kraven and stuff like that. But outside of that, what are his applications besides, you know, stopping Vision and maybe Werewolf by Night and Nightcrawler and Jeff from moving to his location on one turn? That seems pretty niche and not that great, to be quite honest. So this is a weird card. I'm not really sure where I'm going to see this or if it's even good enough for people to want to play. Next up is Kyra. Yes, that's how you say it. Love this card. Love it. Any card that makes ongoing Thanos better makes me happy. Thanos ongoing with Caiera. Yes, please. Thanos Lockjaw. Yes, please. Or just Zoo stuff. Big stuff decks. This card is basically just Armor 2.0 for a certain type of list. Really, there's not much else to say here about this card. It's not super interesting or like weird or anything. It's just a great effect that is going to enable some fringe decks and maybe even make some other types of decks possible because of the protection it provides. Grandmaster's up next. He is a 2 energy 0 power card that reads on reveal, move one of your other on reveal cards to the middle location. Its ability happens again. Sexy card, sexy man. Thin blue frame. Yeah, versatile, powerful, unique. I think this is one of those cards that is going to have so many different interactions that it's hard to think about because there's so many on reveal cards that we won't know its true power until it's released into the game. It's a little Odin, it's a little Wong, it's a little anything. Move decks, discard decks, on reveal decks, Mr. Negative decks. The potentials for this card are pretty big. It does scare me a little bit because this is the type of card that can be abused quite easily. It's cheap, and it does something that no other card does, and it's seemingly quite powerful. Beta Ray Bill. Beta Ray Bill. Daken and Thor had a baby. A weird, ugly, axe-wielding baby. This card's sweet though. Finally, we have a proper Jane Foster type deck. Turn 3 Thor, turn 4 Beta Ray Bill, turn 5 Jane Foster, turn 6 Odin. That is an awesome playline and a powerful deck in and of itself, let alone the cards you are going to put around that shell. You could do Lockjaw stuff and have just like actually flexible Lockjaw lists where you're putting hammers into the Lockjaw, getting Jane Foster out, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to do the same Lockjaw High Evo stuff that you saw a couple of months ago. Now, those Lockjaw decks have a proper curve where you have a bunch of stuff you want to throw into the Lockjaw, just not it being just Wasp. You could even put Beta Ray Bill and Thor and Jane Foster into the little bizarre on reveal Werewolf by Night Hit Monkey Jane Foster decks you see going around right now. But yeah, just that 4-card package I was talking about, I think can go into a lot of different types of strategies. I love this card, stoked for it. Last up, and weirdly enough, the card I might be actually most excited for because I'm a discard boy is Meek.
He's an insect and has nice for hands.
It's a little Morbius 2.0. You know, sometimes Apocalypse, Dracula discard those MODOK lists. They were running like Nebula or Sunspot in the one drop, and then now they're using Dokken for that secondary flex slot, or Storm in the past. But now with Meek, I think discard, those APOC discard lists now have like almost a perfect 12. You have Meek, and then the other flexible spot that's usually Dokken right now, I think is going to end up being the newly buffed Hellcow as a backup MODOK play, because it discards twice, triggers Meek twice. Yeah, this dude's going to be 4 or 5 power minimum in those discard lists. Let alone playing, you know, Colleen into Sif, into Dracula, into MODOK. That's going to be 7-8 power for Meek very easily. That's awesome power, and is obviously the only deck this card is going to go into is that deck. Maybe some other deck pops up, but no, really it's just going to be those APOC Dracula lists. Might make discard actually Conquest and Tournament viable, just because it now has a critical mass of great effects and power boosts by doing what you want to do anyways. Alright, that's it. This video is over. What do you guys think about the new cards? What are you excited for? You got any cool ideas for some of the cards we looked at today? Leave them in the comments section below. But for now, good luck in your games. Later on, nerds. Love it.